Hello, Martine. How are you today? And where are you
Hello,
today?
where I am. Hello, Marta. Yes, I live in Belgium, in Scherpenheuvel, in the Flemish part of Belgium. And I'm fine today, It's a little bit raining, but I came from Switzerland and there it was
Mm,
snowing and very cold. So I'm glad to be home again now.
yeah,
Yeah.
always nice to go back home. So,
Yes,
Martine,
yes.
the intention of these small, short interviews is to share with our audience and those who are interested in learning a little bit more about how Psyche can help them be the leaders of their inner world and live better. How about we start by sharing with those watching, who are you and what do you do in this Psyche world?
Okay, thank you, Marta. Yes, so my name is Martine Tondeur and I am a PSYCH-K instructor. And I learned PSYCH-K, or I've got my first session in 2013. And in my first session, I knew immediately this is what I want to teach, because before I
Mm.
was a nurse and I was teaching as nursing. But as long as I didn't transform my own trauma for my 14 years old, I was never in peace and I was always suffering. So when you can do in one session, transform this physical and emotional pain, oh my God, this was so miraculous for me after 37 years of research and therapies. And it was always a little bit better, but with that first session, yes, this is unbelievable. So in that session, I said immediately, this is what I'm going to teach and nothing else. So I started immediately to do all the workshops. And in one of my the health and well-being with Dutsu, I traveled to France because of I couldn't wait for 2 years because of the health and well-being was just done here in Belgium. So away to Marseille and I came back and my mother asked me, Martine, do you have new drops anti-aging for your face? Can you order them for me too, please? And then I told her, oh no, mom. And I was in Marseille in the summertime. I had no time to lay on the beach, but I could transform the things that you and my dad couldn't transform because of they lost their first partners just before
Mm.
I was born and a miscarriage before I was born. And my mother told me immediately, oh, yes, girl, I could see it on your face that you were suffering. But after this
Wow.
workshop, yes, she could see it on my face. And each time that we had our instructor conference together, Marta, she asks me the same question. Martine, do you have new drops anti-aging? Can you order them for me too? So when you hear that from your mother between 80 and now she is 90 years old, it's so beautiful to see that you can transform things and that you can see it at cellular level, how Bruce
Mm.
Lipton is teaching and telling us. So that's so nice. And even in my daily life, we travel a lot, Richard and I, to France, but he travels so a little bit like a little cowboy. And so then I'm in Suez
Ah,
each time. And so one of the last times I was asking myself, what can I now, what do I need to balance? Because of, I don't know what it could be. And at the same time, it came in my head and I was thinking, oh, Richard is, or Richard drives my car carefully. And this was not in my subconscious belief system. So I did a balance so that it was in my system. And he drove the car 400 kilometers and then we were in Rouen in France. And I couldn't wait to tell him because he didn't know that I balanced with myself. And so then I told him, Richard, now honestly, I need to tell you this. And I told him, and do you know what he told me? Martine, when you are in peace, then so am I too. Oh my God.
wow.
So that means that what I'm suffering or what is not in peace, his subconscious mind can feel it too.
Sure.
And when I'm in peace, he feels in peace too. And then it was so beautiful for me to see when I change in my mind, in my subconscious mind, the other one, when it's a negative thing, the other one will appear in that way. So when we want positive things, we need to go inside ourselves and do the muscle test and then see what it gives. And so by starting to change ourselves, we can change the world, if you want.
Absolutely. I think it's a beautiful compound of the evidence that how, like you said, we do that inner journey and we change the focus. Instead of looking outside, we start to look inside and transform inside with this beautiful process, and then you can see it. You can actually see it with your eyes, either in your physical body, like you were saying, and in our surroundings. So it's beautiful to know that one person does change the world.
Yes, yes, it is. So we need to start to do it by our own, with ourselves, and then you can see how the behaviors of other persons can change around us. And that's so important to know that everything starts with ourselves, or we can ask and look, because of consciously we don't know it. And when you go to the subconscious mind, there you can find it, and then you can transform it in a few minutes. I start in the morning in my bed, and before I go to bed sleeping, and even so, I've got a call, and someone said that one of the facilitators is eating, drinking, sleeping, PSYCH-K. So all day and night she's using it, but you can see it, and that's so nice, because of when we as instructor do our own work and change our own things, the people can feel it, and they start to do it, and it's so nice. Things are happening in the workshops that I would never believe that it could be possible. And it happens, and I'm so grateful for that. So that I learned PSYCH-K so many years ago, and that I still can continue to share.
I think there's what you're saying is very important to those who are watching, because it's understanding that it's a choice that we make every day. We can suffer through life, like your mom was observing in your system, or we can choose this. I call it my best friend. PSYCH-K is always there. I just have to say, something's not right out there. Turn it around. It's in here. Use a beautiful practical tool, and then we have these evidences, like you said. And we can drink and eat and sleep PSYCH-K because it's so easy. It's so easy.
It's very easy, but you need to know it, Marta, because of before I didn't know it. And I was always in a victim position because I didn't know that it was possible to transform and to go inside myself. So as soon as I could feel this, oh yes, it's unbelievable. Sorry, and
believable,
yes,
actually.
Yes, I need to, of course.
Believe
it's
it
so
to
simple.
see it.
Believe it to see it. Yes, of course.
So for those watching, Martine, if somebody listens to this and says, I would love to learn PSYCH-K, what would be if they say, I would love to learn, but I'm doubtful, I don't know if this is the process for me, what would be your answer to them?
Oh, they can go to my website and they can go to listen to the introduction. I made a PowerPoint presentation on my website in French and in Dutch, not yet in English. I'm sorry. I didn't take the time until now because I'm more busy in Dutch and in French than in English at the moment. Also due to the situation that we've got the last years. So look to the introduction, then I explain how it works. And on the other time, I would say they could book for a session. Most of the time it's one of my daughters who is doing the session now. Because of it's a little bit too much for me. Yes, I'm very grateful for that. So with Sarah, or they can come to one of the workshops and they can find them on my website, or go somewhere else in the world. We are teaching in everywhere in the world.
All over
So
the
they can
world.
go to the PSYCH-K all over the world. So they can go to the PSYCH-K.com too.
Beautiful. So we will share your information and the details of this video. And thank you. Thank you for not only for today, thank you for all the time that you invest in sharing this with yourself and others.
Yeah, thank you
you
too,
for making the
Martine,
world better.
Okay, thank you for you to make this time for us as instructors too. So I'm
It's
very
such a
happy for
pleasure.
that too. Okay, thank you
Enjoy
very
your
much.
beautiful day.
Yeah.